you, sounded my Wii U. As usual, I played video games after school. Dinner, shouted my mom. I ran into the dining room leaving the TV on. After dinner, I ran straight upstairs and hopped straight in bed with the TV still on. I fell asleep with my lights on. That night, my bed traveled to the future. I woke up to the sound of splashing water and swishing palm fronds. I opened my eyes to see flooding crops and people holding tarps and bins, running around yelling at each other. There was a little boy sitting next to me. "What's going on?" I asked the little boy. "The crops are flooding and we're trying to save some of the plants that can't survive in the salt water," the boy replied. "Why aren't you helping?" I asked. "Because I sprained my ankle last week trying to help," he answered. Climate change has some pretty bad effects, I thought. I fell asleep when the shouting had died down, but not for long. Then I woke up to the splashing of water and creaking of ladders as people hurriedly climbed up to their houses. I opened my eyes as my bed started rising with the tide. I heard a baby crying as his favorite seashells swirled around in the rapidly now outgoing tide. I paddled my bed over to a ladder. I climbed up and asked the closest person, "What's going on?" "The island is flooding, but all the people that are living here were born here, and so are their ancestors. So they aren't really up for leaving, and it's not going to be long before we will be underwater. So we must make a plan to evacuate," answered the man. "No, you shouldn't have to leave. It's our fault," I said, and climbed back down the ladder and hopped into my bed. I knew I had to do something. The rocking of the bed soon lulled me into a deep sleep, for a little while at least. As soon as I woke up, I felt terrible. I got out of bed, turned off the lights, and raced downstairs. I unplugged the Wii U, and still in my pajamas, I ran to the mall and returned my Wii U. Then I ran back to my house just as the sun was coming up. When I got back to my house, I hopped straight back in bed and fell asleep. As soon as I fell asleep, I dreamed of the little boy, but this time he was smiling. The end. The Kiribati Islands are flooding because of climate change, which is happening because whenever a factory makes something, and whenever you drive your car or use energy, it makes pollution which goes up into the atmosphere and traps heat in our atmosphere, which melts the polar ice caps, and then it makes the ocean's levels rise, and when that happens, it floods and half drowns the Kiribati Islands, which really need help out there. And if you go to this link, you can donate money, and just please bike or walk more than driving a car. Even if it's winter, just bundle up in your coats, because these islands really need our help, because people are drowning.